Hello everybody, yesterday I played Half-Life Alyx for the first time. Now, if you don't know, I bought the Oculus Quest 2 probably 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, but I only got it 2 days ago. And trying Half-Life Alyx just blew me away. I learned so many things about virtual reality while playing it. First of all, it just optimized so well that I felt so comfortable playing it compared to some other titles. However, it took me some time to get used to the movement, and this is something that I think many players will experience. How to actually, be comfortable moving around the environment and understanding the different type of interactions that each game offers, and it differs between each one. Although there are things that are quite similar because you only have, the controllers to interact with. Still, there are things that you need to learn, but it doesn't take a long time until you get used to it. Another thing that I actually experienced, and this is kind of weird because, when you look at the footage here, when I look at it, it looks nice, right? But when it comes to photorealism, this game, once you play it in VR, it becomes even more photorealistic. It's unbelievable. And I think one of the reasons for this is because you are close to seeing things, and also the subtle movements when you move your head and you see things close, especially the lighting effects. This really amplifies the sense of realism that you experience in a game. Because I saw the video, of course, when editing this video, and I actually experienced the game once I was inside the game in virtual reality, and it just felt so much, it just felt different. And of course, because you are also there, well, things are more real for you, right? You see things in their size. I mean, if there is a tree, it's a big tree. So you feel kind of, in a way, you feel intimidated because there is something new around you. I felt it even seeing a cartoonish fishing game. It just felt different because you are there, you are inside the environment. So this also, of course, make a huge change. So it's a combination of several things that really makes the environment feel so much real compared to just playing a game and watching a game on a screen, regardless of how big the screen is or the resolution. But I do think, for example, if you play on a large screen and, for example, 4K resolution, you do see the details more, so it will amplify. But again, being inside it and just being able to just watch the environment slowly and inspect it yourself, all this being inside the game itself and seeing the fine details, nothing compares to that in order to enhance the photorealism. Of course, as long as the game implemented very high definition of graphics and lighting effects, and this is even without having RTX on, because my graphic card doesn't support this. Now, of course, for VR you need very fast latency. So I mean, I was wanted to experience this maybe on my computer with NVIDIA GeForce Now, but again, because of the latency, this won't be possible. I think, but overall, even now with my computer, which is VR ready, running 1660 GTX Ti graphics card, it still looks absolutely amazing. I mean, it's so unbelievable that I just stopped looking at things. For example, this one, seeing this bug, it just felt so organic. So organic. I mean, I see this now on the screen when editing, and I remember when I actually saw it, I was just blown away, just seeing an organic thing moving. Because it felt so real to me. It was near me. I was touching this glass, and I was seeing this thing moving in front of me. This feeling is just. But we need to really feel. Of course, after some time I get used to it. But for the first time, even now when interacting with this, it was real. It was real. I was inside this world, and that feeling, especially if you experience VR for the first time, or as I experience this modern VR for the first time, you will be blown away by this. Now, same goes to seeing human NPCs in the game. They feel so real. It's unbelievable. I just saw this character just talking to me through the window, and I'm like, what? This feels so much better way they create the animations amazingly well. It feels so organic. So again, this is something that we need to give to Valve for creating such an amazing and precise human animation, because it feels so real. But aside from this, You know, hearing the somebody, an NPC talk to you, just felt like a real person is talking to you, not just as a game NPC talking to you. I mean, the difference is substantially different when actually playing or just seeing the gameplay running on a screen compared to being there yourself and actually looking at the person in the eye and actually interacting with this. And by saying interaction, I don't even mean like interacting physically. Just having you look in the eyes of the NPC and you just feel that they are talking to you. Usually in game where I play, NPCs talk to me, but I don't feel that emotional social connection when I interact with NPCs. I mean, far less in a high degree that I actually felt in virtual reality. I really felt that they are talking to me. Suddenly it was me they are talking to. A feeling that you can, I don't know if you felt it in other games. For me, I only felt it first in virtual reality. Now, one of the highlights of my, of the starting of the game, again, I haven't finished this, I just stopped playing, was actually when I got outside. First of all, I watched this beautiful scale, seeing the world after climbing, a few, to the upper area of the building, just enjoying the beautiful view, the scenery is just amazing. But the highlight was actually, aside from the natural interactions with the environment, was seeing a threatening NPC look at me in the eyes, and it felt so. I felt threatened. First time I think playing a video game that I really, really felt close to something, like really feeling threatened by another digitized character in a game. And that was the moment.
Whoa, 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 wait, I just live here.
Probably anti-citizen. Get those hands up!
And the funny thing is that I didn't even hear the put your hands up. I just did it naturally. After this I hear it again, and then I realized that actually it's good that I actually put my hands up. But this thing, the gesture, putting my hands up, was a natural reaction to what's happening there in the game in this specific scene. And even seeing this robot, this flying machine, just point lights at me, I was a bit blindfolded by this light, and just looking at me in the eyes felt so personal. Now this moment, for example, well, it doesn't even look something like that interesting, right? When I even see it now in the video, it doesn't look something. But in virtual reality, wow, this looks so beautiful, organically beautiful. When you look at this in virtual reality, it's just unbelievable. I mean, I can compare because I can see the video now and I compare the feeling and what I felt actually when I was there. It was different. It was a different emotional reaction, and especially very prominent, considering that I was experiencing relatively, modern VR. I'm experiencing modern VR for the first time. I mean, experienced VR before, but modern VR like this for the first time, I just was, again, blown away. Now, even interactions, I mean, you see here, I'm holding a weapon in my hand. I actually couldn't wait to get my first weapon in the game. It was a really cool moment. But actually, this one, by the way, one of the scenes where I actually get this from, I'm not saying name or too much about it, but from a person where I got the gun, this scene was actually reminds me of the scene from the movie, Edge of Tomorrow. I mean, the scene with the professor, it just sounds so much like that, like the two inspired by this movie to create this specific scene. Anyway, when I even first tried other experiences, especially the one that comes with the Oculus Quest 2, when you hold a gun in your hand and shooting, a target shooting, I got more excited by just looking at the fact that I'm actually holding a gun and seeing my hands look differently. And this, I think, was the thing that was exciting me the most than just shooting itself. Of course, the shooting was different by far, but still, the moment that I actually held the gun in my hand was something, because when the last time I actually held a gun in my hand, it was crazy. Now I want to say something about moving in the game. First of all, when I saw videos of Thomas said blinking is kind of an awkward way to play. It takes some time to get used to if you play it like this. I mean, moving, just smooth moving is even worse. It just feels like you are, I don't know, like you are on a, just driving. It's kind of weird because you're not actually moving. You know that you're actually moving, but you're actually moving in the game. But blinking felt more natural in that aspect. But again, none of them were actually like perfect, because unless you are actually walking with your body, it feels kind of awkward. doing this in the game. However, you something that you get used to it. It's not super accurate, and because again, when I move with the stick, the sensitivity really is kind of again, it doesn't feel like perfect. Again, something that need to be perfected, but maybe they're going to be better method down the road. But again, it felt overall comfortable after some time. It was good. It was good. I won't say it's perfect, but it was good. Now, when we are in virtual reality, there's also something that is more prominent, which comes to interactions, because it feels so personal and danger feels so immediate that you really think twice before doing something. You really kind of careful, because you feel that if you do something that is not right, you're gonna get hurt from this. You're gonna get hurt from this. I mean, of course, you know that you are safe in the game, but still, there's kind of a thing that's probably subconscious that affects, what you feel when you're actually interacting with things. So I do it slowly. I look carefully in the environment before deciding to interact with something, and that's felt so unique for me in a game. Experiencing this one in a game. And I also want to talk about shooting. This is another thing that I felt a big difference. I felt kind of bad actually using a pistol, because again, some people use it, own a gun and probably use it, other for hunting, for I don't know for what. I don't. So for me, actually shooting a gun, feel that I have a responsibility having a weapon in my hand. Really, that's how I felt, because it felt so real. But of course, after some time, of course, you get after that, and it wasn't again like, that it's not real. You get into the thing that I really was excited about, and just shooting those things. Now the thing is that unlike regular games where you actually see numbers or you can see how it really register the damage, here not. You don't see this. This experience is supposed to feel realistic rather than arcadic. So when I shot it, I told myself, wait a minute, did I shoot it or did I miss a bullet? And again, this is just a more realistic experience. And of course, you see a splatter, so we actually hit the enemy. But sometimes, it's unlike other games where you can actually see, for example, damage numbers when all right, I registered this hit. So, and the other thing is that you don't have, unlimited amount of ammo. So, and you can find many magazines, so you need to be kind of careful how many bullets you actually spend. And this is something that was, felt more, again, enhanced the realism of the experience. I really felt that I need to survive this harsh environment and hold its threats. And the other thing is that when NPCs comes towards you, it really feels kind of a disgusting. I mean, they are disgusting. You really feel like there's kind of a repulsive reaction where they come very close to you, and you just want them to stay away from you. And this is something again that I felt because of the higher realism of how they look and the fact that I'm experiencing things in first person inside the game itself. And I'm seeing them in front of my eyes, in their real size, and it did felt threatening. Now the other thing is when it comes to gore, usually I don't care about this, by the way. Don't care. Nothing actually disgusts me in games, to be honest. But in this game, I actually felt, I think first time that I ever felt like disgusted by seeing just, gore in the game, seeing blood and seeing the, inner parts. It just felt off, and I really wanted to look away than just looking and staring at it. At first I stared at it because it was such, a unique and different experience. But my mind didn't want to look at this. It wanted to move on than just looking at it, because it just felt, it was repulsive for me. Now, I can definitely say that I was on a train of emotions, and I think this is very important part, that if you are able to nail it correctly in virtual reality, you're gonna deliver experiences that people actually want to experience. They want to be there and experience the things that maybe having experienced in real life, like very intense fear, for example, maybe very strong emotional bond with NPCs characters. I mean, I remember just dancing with the robot with the the introductory virtual reality app for Oculus Quest 2, and I just can't tell you how I felt. It just felt so human, so real. Just I was dancing with a robot there, like for real. It was crazy, and I actually felt embarrassed a bit, uh, to be honest. But that's exactly the thing. I experienced something that shouldn't actually embarrass me, but I was felt different, embarrassed. I felt emotion that I haven't felt before because the experience felt so real. Well, it felt so real and also surreal.
I think I can rewrap this
Just
with my
wow.
multi-tool.
I remember another moment, by the way. And by the way, organic things look absolutely organic when you are experiencing it in VR. Again, because you move slight your head, you move your head slightly, you're seeing things very up close. You kind of see the organic material. You almost can feel it. And this was in a moment where I actually got into this machine, where you can actually replenish your health. When there was a kind of a bug there. Here, it just look, I don't know, nothing
Are they safe for people?
extraordinary, but in VR, you just see this organic thing, and when it smashes, you feel this disgusting feeling when it actually happens. And just looking at this thing, it just felt so organic in virtual reality. I mean, I'm seeing this one on the screen. I probably would just continue doing things and moving on. But in VR, I was just looking at this creature inside this container. I spent so much time looking at this because it just felt like what a creepy thing, and I was there next to it. It was real for me. Now then I place my hand here, and of course there's a vibration, but it really feels kind of tactile. I really feel like something actually touching my hand. Part of it was psychological, and part of it of course related to the fact that there's a vibration on the controller. The combination of both probably make it feel...
These are great.
I mean, I was laughing. I wanted to do it more. Just put my head down. Yeah, let's try it again, because it felt so nice. It was interesting, kind of a massage. So it's kind of interesting, right? Because the things that actually really excited me was the little things. The things like in between. Not like the main things, the in between things. I mean, the interaction, the first interaction. Of course, because I'm experiencing modern VR for the first time. Because I tried mobile VR back then, and that's what I experienced most of the time. And again, it was far from being something like this. It's like completely two different, completely mediums. I mean, compared to the how I actually experienced things back then and how I'm experiencing back now. And wow, just wow, everything. I really want to feel force, by the way. For example, when picking up barrels like here, I want to feel weight. And I can easily understand why there is research to make sure users can experience different type of haptic feedbacks because it's supposed to feel more real. Because if I just pick it up and it just felt like a feather, it doesn't really... You're not really kind of connecting to the experience. It doesn't feel realistic. So, and it kind of it kind of cuts the immersion, because you kind of interacting with something that you're supposed to be something, but it just acts differently. And of course, we can create different type of interaction that feels different from things in the real world. But some things, like this one, just speaking about, well, you're supposed to feel a weight, and I just didn't. So it just felt kind of awkward in a way. Now, keep in mind that you can play this game in room scale, and you can actually stand and play it like this, or you can just play it seated. I play it seated. And again, in terms of design, it just designed so well. So I can actually just tap the left thumbstick on the left controller, and can just crouch. And then it allows me to easily interact with objects. Will just pass through barriers. The other thing is that they introduced something like, you can just flick with your hand by just pointing an object and just get them from far away, rather than just going to that location and precisely pick up objects. So overall, my first experience playing Half-Life Alyx was something incredible. And I know that people say experience other things, because once you experience Half-Life Alyx, this is by far the best VR experience you can ever have. Until better things will come and people will actually, keep up with this incredible achievement here, creating such an immersive and incredible experience in virtual reality. But for me, it doesn't really mean that aren't good experiences out there. They're just different. I told you, I was enjoying other experiences which are much simpler than this, because the experience was designed well for the medium, and the interaction felt natural. And it doesn't need to be photorealistic, and you don't have to have everything here in order to create a great VR experience. But in terms of what it was designed almost perfectly. Now, I definitely also felt the things that can be improved, and so again, nothing is perfect here. But considering that, for a new user who dive into such a, such a game, and and playing in a relatively, familiar posture, just sitting and playing a game like I'm used to with just mouse and keyboard, but here I'm with the two controllers. It was designed very well. It was very, very comfortable for me. And then from that point on, all the other experience I was able to experience them in a very calm, natural way. The game doesn't rush you. Actually, it actually focuses on the simple things, simple interactions, some puzzles. And again, this is just from the first part. I still haven't finished the game. So this part still felt so much fun and enjoyable. Although usually in a game, there are so many interaction, lots of action. In VR, actually, this can actually lead to discomfort. So the way it was designed so well, so it still felt challenging. I died many times for mistakes, but it was designed well for virtual reality. I think it was designed for for a standard game. Things would be different. So overall, I really enjoyed it and can't wait to go back. But again, I'm just sharing my fresh memories of what I felt when I just played this game after just getting, like Oculus Rift, Oculus Quest 2 headset just 2 days ago. And again, I haven't experienced modern VR. I tried VR many years back, but really most of the time I play with the augmented reality rather than diving into virtual reality. So I'm just sharing fresh memories and how things actually affect me as a player. And what I learned from this. So again, thanks for watching, everyone. More videos are coming. I'll see you very soon in the next video. Thanks for watching. Cheers.